This is a bit of a long article, but it's interesting. This is a list of the most bizarre genitals in the animal kingdom.
I've
Oh
been waiting
God.
for this.
Oh man. I don't want this known to the public.
You're not a duck.
So the first is the world's largest penis. Now this one,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
you can't really talk about genitals without discussion eventually becoming about size. So let's just get on the topic out of the way. In absolute terms, the largest penis in the world belongs to the blue whale. No surprise there. It makes sense that the biggest living animal would have the biggest dong. The most commonly reported blue whale penis is around 8 feet long, give or take a few inches. Particularly hung whales can reach 10 feet. However, they can't really brag when it comes to girth. Sure, a penis diameter of 1 foot is humongous to humans, but on the whale scale, the whole thing starts looking more like a noodle. Next is the world's largest penis relative to body size. Absolute size isn't everything, though, and compared to the blue whale's entire body, their wings aren't that impressive. That raises the question, which animal has the largest penis relative to its body size? The answer is the humble barnacle. This varies by species, of course, but some barnacles have penis-equivalent reproductive organs that are anywhere from 8 to 50 times longer than their bodies. There's a good reason for that, too. Adult barnacles are immobile, so they need to reach their mates somehow. Here's another fun fact. Most barnacles are hermaphroditic. That means the most hung dudes and the hottest gals of the crustacean world. Oh, they're both. Suppose that's an achievement. Let's see. The deadliest dong. Bed bugs are one of the most hated creatures on Earth, but if you wanted more reasons to find these blood-sucking pests repulsive, you should hear about their breeding habits. Bed bug males are really into what the science call traumatic insemination. What that means is that the male bedbug's penis is pretty much a hypodermic needle that is forcibly crammed through the female's exoskeleton. The females have a vagina-like reproductive tract, but that's not used during mating. The male simply punches a hole wherever it pleases. In the worst or best, from a human perspective, case scenario, the act straight up kills the female. Male bedbugs are primarily attracted to size, so sometimes they will forcibly penetrate other larger males. Oh, and they're more than happy to engage in some incest as well. Man, how'd you like to have to study the mating habits of bedbugs and figure all this shit out?
Yeah.
Next is the sea slug's disposable penis. One type of sea slug, known scientifically as Goniobronchus reticulatus, I'm sure I butchered that, thought it was reading a sex ed book, but instead it was a Starbucks coffee cup's user manual. Still, it took the lesson to heart. This brightly colored sea slug has the world's only known disposable penis. After mating, the external tip of its male reproductive organ, it has female parts too, will rip off and float away into the depths. You think that'd suck for the slug, but it doesn't really mind. That's because it stores up to 3 new penis tips inside its body at all times. All it needs is some 24 hours to screw one of the new penis parts onto its internal genitalia, and voila, the slug is ready for round 2. Imagine if we were like that. You just every so often, yeah, out with the old, in with the new. Next is the female hyenas have an almost penis. When it comes to hyena sex, the ladies run the show. They're bigger, more aggressive, and more muscular than the males. And they're often more well endowed, too. Granted, the females don't actually have penises. Instead, thanks to hormone androgen, they have elongated clitorises that protrude around 7 inches from their body.
Like Hillary Clinton.
The clitoris tube also doubles as a hyena's birth canal. That means that when it's time to have puppies, the female hyena has to squeeze them through its weird pseudo-penis. How would you guys feel if you fell in love with a woman, but then she had a Hillary Clinton clitoris, just like a small penis almost? Would that be too much for you guys?
No, I'd work with it.
Didn't
If I fell in love. Right?
what was that? Jay and Silent Bobby did a bit about that.
I think he did.
You're like one step away from a small dick.
Yeah, I think there was a bit about that. Next is the gender role-defying cave insect. No matter how weird your genitalia is, though sexual reproduction usually follows an established pattern. During sex, the male parts go inside the female parts. It's not rocket science. But the eyeless bark lice of the genus Neotrogla don't believe in traditional gender roles. In the depths of the dry caves of Brazil, it's the females who do the penetrating. The males carry sperm inside their bodies in a vagina-like pouch. When it's time to get down and dirty, the female sticks a penis-like gynosome into the male and sucks up the sperm. The Neotrogla doesn't stop there with the role reversal. The females are more sexually aggressive than males, while the males tend to be more selective. These bugs don't believe in quickies either. Neotrogla sex can last from 40 up to 70 hours. And if you try to separate the amorous couple by force, the barbs on the female's penis will tear the male in half. Now, do you think that's even like a pleasurable experience for the male? Like, he just has the sperm inside of him and he gets penetrated and it gets sucked out of him? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that sounds really bad. I mean, which one's the male and which one's the female in that situation? The female has the dick and everything.
It's kind of strange that like it sucks out the sperm instead of just like injecting the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sex, like, quote unquote sex, 40 to 70 hours.
Ugh.
And the female has barbs on the female penis. They can tear the male in half.
Get over here.
I mean that sounds like a bad existence if you're the male.
Yeah.
Finally, I think this is the last one. The lady kangaroo and her 3 vaginas. We talked about the woman with the 2 vaginas the other week. This list has been a bit of a sausage fest, hasn't it? Even the female hyena's clitoris was pretty penis-like. So let's end with not only 1, but 3 vaginas, all attached to 1 kangaroo. Yep, female kangaroos have 3 vaginas. On top of that, they have 2 uteruses. 1 vagina is used to giving birth and sex, we assume, while the other 2 are connected to the uteri. As complicated as that sounds, this setup allows kangaroos to be extremely effective baby makers. A female kangaroo can be pregnant in both uteruses while having another baby in its pouch and an older juvenile hopping alongside it. Basically, they can be perpetually pregnant. At the same time, the triple vagina structure allows the females to have an inbuilt birth control method. Don't feel like having another mouth to feed? Just deposit the sperm into a uterus where it's less likely to inseminate you.
Google's kangaroo porn.
Man, just imagine if all women were like that. It'd be pretty crazy.
We get shit on even more.
Yeah. You still can't find their 6-inch clitoris.
Yeah, they'd be giving us hell.
It's like I know where it is, but I'm not prepared.
A woman has one of those Hillary Clinton clitorises, and you still can't find her.
Stop wagging that.
She's
thing
like,
in my face.
you have no excuse. I'm hitting you in the face.